Hi and welcome to FisherMN, or welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my favorite way to fish, frog fishing. I thought we could settle into the lily pads as we talked about frog fishing. Now I'm not going to mention too much about the equipment that I use when I'm frog fishing. I've had that in a couple other videos. But just keep in mind, use heavy duty equipment. You don't want to lose a bass because your equipment isn't right, which usually for me means a nice bait casting reel, medium heavy rod or bigger, and 60-pound braid or higher, and that usually gets the job done. Now what I do want to talk about are some frogs that I'm going to use or have used when I'm frog fishing. The first one I want to mention is the live target hollow-bodied frog. Now these are great frogs. They've got even like little arms molded to the side. Most frogs don't have that. They have a really good makeup to them, so they're durable, yet they're soft enough when you get a hit where you're going to get a good hook set. And they have a nice set of hooks on them too. The only thing for me is they're a little more expensive. And if I can find something that works just about the same, or if not better, and it's a little less, that's what I'm going to go with. But that's the only thing. I think live target frogs are great. The second frogs I want to mention are lunker hunt. Their hollow-bodied frogs have rubber legs, and they're kind of coiled up, and then when you pull the line, they stick out just like a regular frog would swim. In fact, I caught my biggest largemouth on Mille Lacs Lake here in Minnesota ever on a lunker hunt frog. Now, what happened next is the reason why lunker hunt isn't always my first choice. 3 casts later, I had another hit on the frog, and the legs were gone, and the action was gone, and I found myself buying a new lunker hunt frog. So I don't know if that happens to everybody, but it just seems like it's happened a few times to me, and fish really key in on those legs, and that's what they seem to be aiming for when they are going after that lunker hunt frog. One thing I'll mention about lunker hunt is they're really expanding their line of frogs. They went to a short, traditional legged frog, kind of like the skirt of a spinnerbait, and so they have that this year. And they've also got what they call a prop frog, which is a hollow-bodied frog with hard plastic prop legs and the hooks facing up like a regular hollow-bodied frog. So lunker hunt seems to be stepping up their frog game. You might want to check them out. The next frog I'll mention is one that I talked about with one of my big bass videos, and that's the Reaction Innovation Swamp Donkey. Now this is an awesome frog. It's how I learned how to frog fish. I had a buddy buy one for me, and it was the first time that I was getting consistent hook sets on a frog, so that kind of actually got me hooked on frog fishing. So my buddy Don, thank you for that frog. That was awesome. Something about the Reaction Innovation Swamp Donkey is the shape. It's a little more sleek than other frogs. I would say that the hollow body is a little bit thicker, but still supple enough when a bass bites to get a good hook set. And I think the hooks on the Swamp Donkey are second to none. That's one of the definite positives about the Reaction Innovation Swamp Donkey. If you look at some of the information about it, the hooks are turned up just enough to help with some hook sets. At least that's what it says online. And that's been my experience too. Very good hook sets with that frog. Now, if you want to buy a Reaction Innovation Swamp Donkey, Tackle Warehouse has them listed on their site for $8.99. On their site, it also says May 25th for almost every color that they have. So you might be waiting a little bit. And that's kind of been the thing with Swamp Donkeys in the past is, yes, they're coming, but when are they coming? So I don't know if Tackle Warehouse sold out of most of what they had, or if the order just isn't in yet. But they're on there. The only color you can get is white, and that says there's only 5 left. So if you want to try one out, you might want to hurry on that. Or wait till May 25th and see if they get a full shipment in. You can also find Reaction Innovations on eBay, and they're pretty close to the same price, $8.99 to $10.99. You can buy an official old school Reaction Innovation Swamp Donkey, but you're going to pay up to $25, $30 for them. Always a good choice though, great frog. The next frog I want to talk about is the Spro Bronzeye frog. I use the Bronzeye frog mostly when I want to use a black frog in lily pads. Last summer I had some great luck just plopping on those lily pads, and I think it provides a great silhouette for the fish to see. The Spro frog has a little bit thicker body, but didn't seem to matter with the hook sets. And it's just got a kind of a sleekness to it. I guess the barrier for me again is the price. Bronzeye frogs are a little bit more expensive than some of the other frogs. But nonetheless, a great frog. The last frog I want to mention is the Booyah Pad Crasher, my favorite. It's the perfect blend, in my opinion, of price, the makeup of it, nice soft body for hook sets, and great hooks. Never lost a fish due to the design of the Booyah Pad Crasher. Mostly it's operating error when I lose a fish. So definitely a good option. They've got a wide selection of colors, so you can find those for about $6. Walmart's now carrying them, so that's nice and handy, but you can find them online many different places. This summer I was out in my kayak, and I thought I'd put together some tips for frog fishing that I use when I'm out there. If any of them are new, post in the comments below and let me know. If you have any tips for me, I'm ready for them too. Put them down there in the comments. All right, I got 3 frog tips for you today. Hopefully one of them will be new, but the first one is brand new frog. What I like to do, what a lot of people like to do, is trim the legs, and I always make sure that I make one leg a little bit shorter than the other one. Sometimes that just kind of triggers the fish that that's a frog that needs to be eaten. So there's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is this stuff. It's a paste that fly fishermen use, and it helps their line to float. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit of this paste on my finger, and to help keep the frog afloat a little bit more, put it on the line. If you know who Dave Mercer is, he's got the Facts of Fishing show. He let that secret out, so now I'm letting it out again. So a lot of you might have known that. And then the third tip is the color of the frog. So today is a really cloudy day, and my theory is when that frog's looking up at the top of the water, this will provide a better silhouette. The frog I started with has a white belly, so looking up towards the sky, I'm just thinking that this frog will be easier to see. We'll see if it works. So we've got the floatant on the line, we've got the leg trimmed short, one shorter than the other, and we've got the black frog. So that's your frog tip of the week.
Now that's how you eat it. Good job, big guy. Whew. Nice.
I appreciate you watching this video. It's been warm here in Minnesota for the last couple of days, which gets me thinking about open water season. Opener is still a couple of months away. I actually got out ice fishing a couple of weeks ago, and there's still about 36 inches of ice where we were fishing, so it's going to be a little while. If you're able to get out there in open water, good luck fishing. If you're still fishing panfish here in Minnesota on the ice, be careful.